Who's ready to laugh their ass off and open their heart this weekend? On May 4th, we have a really fun celestial alignment, although it could cause a little bit of mischief, being that it's one day before a lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So pay attention here because there might be people at the gathering feeling a lot of different things. So Venus in Gemini is squaring off with Neptune in Pisces on May 4th. And what Venus in Gemini has been doing has been saying, hey, I can see that you're really freaking bored over there. Let's stir the pot. Let's do something else, anything else, literally anything else. And so that one's been really, really refreshing and is always welcome this time of year. Venus always enters Gemini around this time of year. And for me, where I live, it's spring. So it's like, yeah, let's get the heck out of this house and see who's around and what can we do. Let's put some air in the tires of the bike and get the heck out of here. So yeah, Venus in Gemini has been just inspiring us to break the patterns. Venus comes out of Taurus and is like, yeah, that was pretty comfortable and replenishing and restorative. And I really, really needed that. But now, like, let's move our legs and stimulate our mind is basically what Venus in Gemini wants to do. So on May 4th, Venus in Gemini, which is craving a really good time and intellectual connection, is going to be squaring off with Neptune, which is a planet of transcendental experiences and getting lost, basically. And there's a lot of different ways that we can get lost. My favorite way to enjoy this transit really is to like hang out with friends and drink a little bit of wine and let loose, put on some music, dance like a crazy person, and feel really, really like replenished on the soul level the next day. And you're tired, and with kids, but it's worth it for me. Anyways, I think that when I think about this transit, I think about divine play, bringing in that Neptune and Pisces kind of energy and the Gemini impulse to not take anything too seriously. There's like a really strong current around discovery and also escape with this planetary combination. So we want that intellectual stimulation and also the ability to check out. So if there's a way that we can sort of bring these two into cohesion, that's the name of the game. So what this transit might not be the best for is, like social gatherings where you're trying to figure something out or plan something, or like say you're trying to get everyone to play a board game, okay? Neptune is going to come in and keep distracting. People are going to be goofing off. The conversation gets carried away and there's going to be one person holding their cards about to win and they're like, come on, everyone. And everyone is just on another level. And that's sort of the square energy between cerebral Gemini and, Jupiterian celebratory Pisces. So that's sort of the tension point with the square. And that's where I come back to divine play of just seeing where it leads and sort of leaning into that curiosity point of Gemini where we can kind of just be silly and see where everything kind of flows organically. So I think about this as like a spiritual goofiness, I've been in the past a part of several different spiritual communities, and I'm talking about spirituality because of Neptune, but I find that there is often like a very Saturnian point in these communities where people take themselves very seriously. And we do that outside of spiritual communities too, where we tend to take ourselves very seriously. It's the ego. And so I think that this aspect comes in to say, hey, let's not take any of that seriously. Maybe we break some of our own rules tonight and we just have some fun and see where the energy leads us. And in the spirit of seeing where things lead, I mean, that's what that's what creativity is. That's what imagination is. Imagination isn't just staring up at the clouds and trying to like interpret what your eyes are seeing in terms of the shapes of the clouds and whatnot. Imagination is saying, hey, like, what if I took my life in this other direction? Or it's just giving yourself the freedom to riff in a very like cerebral context, like yeah, like making fun. So that is sort of the energy of this little square. But the thing is that as I mentioned, in the vein of celebration and letting loose, you can go a little too far. So if you have an issue with substances, or you have friends that you're hanging out with that do, this is a transit that you do want to keep an eye on for yourself or for other people, because this is one where, it can be kind of indulgent. Venus is actually in a little sextile with Jupiter too. So there is an indulgent component where people can be granting themselves liberties that they otherwise wouldn't prefer to, So there is like Saturn's there for a reason. It keeps us in check. And I'm bringing up Saturn too because Venus just came off of a square with Saturn a little bit earlier, like a few weeks ago. So here Neptune is saying like, it's okay, let loose. Don't be so hard on yourself unless you need to be hard on yourself. So take that into consideration with this square, but it can just be like such a great aspect for falling in love with life, with the humans around you, with music, with the divine tapestry of art that is your life on this planet. And your neighborhood is art, your community as art, your home as art. Like, I just think that this aspect is really beautiful on the soul level for falling in love with what you've created and what's been gifted around you. So there's the spiritual component of it. So have gratitude, because that is, I think, the key to maintaining a sense of joy is continuing to appreciate what's around. So I hope this transit fills your cup in that way, and I hope it's really beautiful for you. And that is your astrology shot of the day. Bye. Thanks for tuning in with me today. For more astrology in your world, you can connect with me on all platforms at Astro Catherine. You can also book your reading with me at catherineurban.com. And hey, you may also want to join Cauldron, my monthly astrology meetup.